June is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and today we are joined by Kim Elliott. She's going to talk to us a little bit about Alzheimer's, maybe some signs of it, and also what we can do to help that brain activity. So Kim, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So how prevalent is Alzheimer's in the United States, and are those numbers expected to rise?
You know, the numbers are staggering right now. It impacts nearly 7 million Americans over the age of 65, and those numbers are expected to rise to 13 million by the year 2050. You know, what that means is that 75% of people over the age of 75 could have Alzheimer's disease.
Wow.
Wow.
Some interesting statistics, lots of, a pretty high number in the country.
It sure is, my goodness. And what are some of the early warning signs of Alzheimer's?
You know, the early warning signs can be very subtle. It could be something that it's hard to pick up on. Many times people will think back and think, you know, oh, 9 months ago, I remember them doing that. I should have picked up on that sign. But it can be things such as poor memory, but think about poor judgment. Maybe somebody that would always make good decisions or certain decisions, and all of a sudden they have a hard time making those decisions or make something that's very out of character for them. Another thing that you'll see, you know, we hear people say, I lost my car keys, I can't find them, I must have Alzheimer's. But keep in mind, just because you misplaced something doesn't mean you have Alzheimer's. But when you find those keys, you know what that key is. People with Alzheimer's disease don't know what the key is, doesn't know how it functions, the fact that it keyhole, and often they'll set some of the signs.
Yeah, and that's super interesting. Actually, I've heard people say, you know, I look back 9 months ago and realized, but I've never heard what you're talking about. When they find the key, sometimes they might not even recognize what it is. That's super interesting to look out for. So why is physical activity and, you know, socialization so important for the health of seniors and their brain activity?
You know, physical exercise is so important throughout our entire lives. If you think about it, you know, we may do physical exercise to lose weight or get in shape, but we don't think about how important it is for our brain health. It really helps decrease the risk of having memory loss, and it gives you the ability to learn and remember and concentrate on things. So as people get older, they come up with excuses to not be physically active. They maybe have a bad knee or a bad back. But it's so important to do what you can, even if it's just a walk. But keeping that blood pumping is so important.
Yeah, I think sometimes we think about physical activity and think that might mean running a marathon or something, but it can also be just as simple as a walk around the neighborhood or, you know, walking up and down the driveway or something. Super interesting.
It's always good to take a little walk.
Yeah, get a little physical activity.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kim, for all of the information. Definitely learn some new things to be looking out for, and it's such an important month to be aware of. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.